Hey people, VKev21 asked a question on my video when I was talking about how I find inspiration for design, and he asked if I would start with t-shirts and hoodies. Also, would I use screen printing or heat transfer? Also, are there any other ways to make t-shirts? A couple questions there. I did another video that kind of touches on that, and I'm gonna put the link to it below, so if you could click on that. But basically, I'm a huge fan of starting with t-shirts and hoodies, and that's from a person that has been through production and garments and apparel, and there's a slew of really good reasons for that. So take a look at this video for my take on that. So there's screen printing. Within screen printing, there's plastisol and waterbase, inks, and basically the difference is something you can typically feel. Plastisol lays on top of the garment, and you can feel that when you rub your hands on it. If you have any kind of old vintage shirts that have kind of crackly paint, literally plastisol is a paint that gets screened on top of the cotton. And then waterbase is a different process, and if you think of watercolors, it's similar to that. Basically, the inks bleed into the garment, so it's like painting with watercolors. Whereas plastisol is very viscous, waterbase is literally like water soluble consistency. Are there any other ways? There's also one more big way that's more of a recent development in the industry, and that's called direct to garment, or DTG. So that's something cool to look into. I've worked hand in hand with all three ways to produce t-shirts. VKev, it really depends on what you want to do. I'm going to take the default and say that you want to start an actual brand, and if that's the case, I would honestly stick to screen printing. It's kind of time tested. There are very cool things that you can do with direct to garment. It's especially good with multicolor designs that you're not going to do a high volume run of, because obviously the more colors that you have on a design is going to cost a lot more, so you want to be making a lot of units of that to make it as cost effective as a t-shirt that's getting done with 1 or 2 colors. So I have seen DTG where it's more artwork and painted and or illustrated designs with a lot of different colors. The only caveat with that is it's a newer technology, so people who are offering it don't really know the ins and outs of it extremely well. If you ever go on Zazzle.com, Zazzle is one of these websites where you can put your product out first, and they'll produce the product and send it, and they'll charge you, and then you put your margin on top to sell your goods. It's actually a good website to kind of, I guess, test different designs, but the quality of a lot of t-shirts that come back from Zazzle are usually pretty bad, and those guys are running a lot of DTG made garments there, so DTG can be good. Even heat transfers could be good for certain situations. It just depends on a lot of different things. So it's just like tools in the toolbox. Each tool has a different use for a specific time. But spread gun or general answer, I would just say stick with screen printing. I'm going to touch more on screen printing because that in itself is a whole universe. With that, I want to say, like, there's a lot of people that offer screen printing. Make sure you get 4 or 5 companies and price check. I'm currently working with a company. I'm here in San Diego, and I'm working with a company called Consul. That's CONSUUL.com. I'm sure we drop ship, but not too many companies that I co-sign for t-shirt screen printings. The fact that I'm working with them and I'm able to run clients through there is kind of a big deal. But find whoever you have is close to you. Make sure you price check and try to find references for people who have worked with them before. Anybody else that watched this have any other specific questions, drop them, and I hope that helps.